This is the list of GlobeMed. We are the largest network here in Lebanon. We are the first TPA in the Middle East and the largest in Lebanon. Here shows how many hospitals we have. We have full hospitals of Lebanon, 120 hospitals, 220-something doctor labs, pharmacies, physicians, and physiotherapists. And every client that he's with an insurance company managed by GlobeMed, he can have full access. It depends on the product he is buying. He can have full access to all network, or he can have access to a limited network. It depends on the money he is paying to get a policy. We have big policies, limited policies, larger policies. This is the way. And this is where we are available. This is our geographic distribution, Lebanon. Then we started going by years, opening in Syria, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Egypt, and so on and so forth. And we are getting more and more, hopefully, by next year. The case study that we worked, it happened between our operation department, where our nurses and delegates, that they are available in hospitals, that they deal with the patients directly. With Brand Central, they did a case study, a process how to deal with an ER process, because mainly ER is a very critical issue when someone wants to go to the hospital. Christian is my colleague. He's going to explain it.
Okay, Christian Virginie, the operation manager of GlobeMed Lebanon. Who have been to the ER recently? Ahada. Okay, so great. But luckily, so there's only your insurance company who tells you, please don't get sick, because we're going to pay money. So why we ask brands to help us innovate and understand what our patients are experiencing during their ER stay. Why we have decided, or why we have chosen the ER. Why didn't we choose the ambulatory, the lab, the pharmacy, or the in-hospital stay? The answer is because when we are in the ER, in the emergency room, our patients are lost, they get panicked, they don't know what to do, they don't know who to call, they only know that they paid their insurance, they paid their premium, they call the broker, maybe he doesn't answer, so maybe they have their kid, it was a broken leg, what to do, why they are making me wait. So it's like we want to be there when they need us the most. Okay, our clients are the insurance company, as Mazen said, are the risk carriers. So I don't sell policy directly to the patients. But why I am interacting with the patients, why I want GlobeMed to be by the patient when he needs us most, because this patient will indirectly reflect it to his insurance company and say, GlobeMed served me well. This insurance company gave me a good service. I'm with AXA because they provide good services when I'm at the ER. So what matters most, it's not to promote GlobeMed, it's to promote the service that GlobeMed does, so it can be promoted within insurance company. So please, Mazen, next slide. So as Joe presented earlier on their process, we start by understanding. We need to understand what's the concern, maybe of GlobeMed, of all stakeholders. There are 4 stakeholders in this process. We have the patient, we have the hospital itself, GlobeMed, and the insurance company who is paying GlobeMed fees to handle the patient claims. Okay, so from the patient interviews we did jointly with Brandcell, we had, can't read from here. Okay, so, مش واضح. Anyway, bad experience. Just a second. Yes. In case I can't reach my broker, I wouldn't know who to call. So his point of contact is his broker or maybe his HR manager. It never occurs to me to call the number on the card. So on the back of the card, if you have insurance company, if you turn it on the back of the card, there's the number. Maybe you do it. You have credit card, no? Yeah, whom I know, who sold me. Yes, yes, indeed. It will, I don't know my insurance limitation or expectations. Okay, I bought an insurance, but what does it offer me? What? Yes. Why did I get insured if I'm not going to use it when I need it the most? Sometimes we reject requests for patients when they are at the ER. Okay, we approve all the basic services. But for example, some policies won't allow you to have MRI at the ER. You have to do it on your out benefit. If you have an out benefit, you can do it on your out benefit. It depends on the policy. Other, yes. Yes, because one of the issues, and maybe sometimes it's the patient. Okay, I have a fever, I'm a 42 years old adult person, what do I do? My doctor isn't here. If I call him to come home, I have to pay him maybe $100 to come home. So I go to the ER, it's cheaper, and I don't pay a penny. But for insurance company, they don't approve doctor visit at the ER. Okay? So, when we interviewed the hospital clerks, the ER clerks and the ER managers, patients and families are unaware of the content of their coverage policies. So this is what we just said. They don't know what to cover. When patients are frustrated, they can call the broker. They call the broker. The broker calls and wants me to do things I don't want to do or I'm not allowed to do. For example, the broker call the ER clerk and tell him, please cover them. They have insurance policy. Okay, they have insurance policy, but I called the GlobeMed or I called their TPA, and they rejected the case. I cannot handle. I am subject to aggressive and harsh commands from patients and families. This is the ER clerks, because if he tells them, okay, sorry, you have to pay, your insurance company rejected. So he starts yelling, he starts shouting. GlobeMed delegates, our representative at the hospitals, what their concern. The patient thinks he is waiting for us, but he's actually waiting for the hospital. When the patient comes to the ER, they make him wait. There's certain triage process we call at the ER, at the emergency room, where they have to check his medical case, why he's here, if he really needs to be admitted to the ER or not. So this takes time. Plus, there's the severity of the case. For example, if I have a broken leg and I have a cardiac attack, I have to process the cardiac attack first. It's more urgent. Nobody explains to the patient the content of his policy. When I sell you your policy, maybe you don't read it. It's like when you're going to the bank, opening an account, you have 5, 6, 7 papers with mini tiny. Yes. So it's about trusting your broker and trusting the company you're buying insurance from, because there are insurance company in Lebanon and in the world with bad reputation, and there are insurance companies with very good reputation. You're not insured? You have government insurance. Yes, هلا you heard what you heard what she said. You said I have a government insurance from my parents, from your parents, which covers 75 to 90% of anything. I can tell you it's not anything. For example, if you have prosthesis or orthesis, it covers maybe 10% or it doesn't cover it. So شو أضرب. If you go, For example, GlobeMed is handling. Yes, because it's a different policy. It's a different policy.
So when I get married, because I studied architecture and design also as a reverse engineer,
Or a lawyer. If look,
I'm an architect. So I move my insurance to myself, and I start being covered as well.
lawyers are
Well,
lawyers are have the best insurance.
daughter of a lawyer.
We respect that. We respect that. But you are managed as an engineer by also an insurance company.
Yeah, but it's the coverage that I'm speaking
No, to be frank and open, there are really, to be frank and open, there are really very good insurance companies in Lebanon. I'm not promoting, we are not an insurance company, but there are really insurance companies of very, very good reputation. For example, we manage the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Public Health is our client too. We've been managing this 2 months and 2.5 months ago. The Ministry of Public Health wanted us to control their patient admission to the hospital, the claims, what they are paying to the hospital, the tariffs, and everything. So we're handling now Mount Lebanon and Beirut. So it's a big headache, I can tell you, because when a hospital sees you have insurance card, no, you don't have it. You have to pay by yourself. No, I have Ministry of Public Health coverage. Ah, okay, we don't have places. In fact, they have places, but they know that the tariff of the Ministry of Public Health is very low. It doesn't come up to their... yes. Anyway, so we got over a bit out of subject, but it's good to understand what GlobeMed does. So, GlobeMed employees who are 24/7 waiting for the calls, for the faxes, for the contact from the hospital, what are their concerns? Patients are over-demanding. They think they have an open access card. And laissez-passer. Donc, you have your insurance card, just give it to the clerk and you can get whatever you want. Motivation is an important factor in the quality and service we provide. Our employees are under a big pressure, under a big stress, because it's about healthcare. It's not about, oh, I lost my SIM card, I lost my mobile, I lost my wallet, which I can recover later on. It's about health. I'm sick. I'm at the emergency. I need to be treated. I need to be helped. So we cannot tell him, okay, we'll call you in half an hour. We have to be ready and to have a service on the spot. Would prefer less direct contact with the ER administrator, the ER clerk. Why? Because the ER clerk throws everything on GlobeMed, on the insurance. They tell him they are late, although he didn't send us the paper. It's rejected, you have to pay it. So because maybe the insurance tariff is lower than when you pay it as as cash. So it's a whole strategy. It's a Lebanese, yes, but you can find it in other countries too. For example, to go to an ER in France or in Europe, you have to wait 5 hours. In Lebanon, maybe you call the President of the Republic if they don't serve you in 1 hour. What preferred, ER clerks always tell the patient that it's our mistake, although it's not the GlobeMed mistake. The insurance interviewees, we sat with the insurance company who had some quotes. GlobeMed ER protocol, emergency protocol, is a little bit tough and overly strict, although for good compliance purpose. For example, when we reject an adult with fever, with high fever in the ER, we're giving headache to the insurance company, because this person will call his broker who will tell him, they rejected me at the emergency room. But on the other side, we're containing cost for the insurance company, because they don't have to lose money. There's a certain rule. If you have a headache, you go to the doctor. You don't go to the emergency room. We insist on being the ones talking to our clients, and we actively request they only call us in times of emergency. So, because the insurance customer is very connected to his broker, to his insurance company. So it's like and Papa Pool, and they are so conservative to a certain way. They don't want to give his mobile number, his insurance, or his information in order for to block it for another broker to come in and sell him his insurance. Clients are aware that the procedure, but they like to complain. Anyway, what we did, we started with a blueprint. We did the journey of the customer or the patient. We did with BrandCell, we did the journey of the patient before, during, and after being admitted to the emergency room. We saw where are the pain points. We saw where we need to work on. And in the Imagine workshop, we had, it was like a war zone. We were 12 employees from GlobeMed and 4 from LiveWork and BrandCell. We have also foreigners who came. We had stickers all over the walls. We have, yes, our new conference room, and the GM got mad. But it was a really several-step workshop over several days. We were going, discussing, then coming back and meeting and brainstorming. By the way, from those persons on the table, only one, the lady in white, is handling the ER department. The others are employees, but they are not related to the ER department, because this is why we want people also to think out of the box, not only the concerned person. We had several concepts. We had the call for action. We had the self-service. We thought about putting an iPad in the hospital, in the emergency room. We tested it also. And it might be a concept for phase 2, where we are going to put it in certain hospitals, not in all hospitals. We had information collection. We put a banner in one of the emergency rooms that we tested, and we said, if you are a GlobeMed adherent, call this number, and big red and white paper. No one called.
No one saw it.
No one saw it, because they were so panicked. They were so panicked. They didn't see it. Okay, just give me the treatment. Just help my kid. Just give me where's the doctor? So they didn't see it.
I recall, sorry if I'm interrupting, one was shouting like, whom shall I call here? And the number was in front of his eyes on the glass between him and
the ER clerk, yes.
So imagine, this is about emotion. Sometimes they are negative, sometimes. How they are, in which mindset.
This is part of the prototyping of the concept, where we did the testing with the ER clerks. We introduced the swiping process. Now, let's go here. Patient, this is part of the prototyping process. Patient arriving in the ER are blank to external stimulus. So this is what Joe said, that they didn't see the number to call. They don't feel they have to do anything other than show the insurance card. This is what they think. They expect instant handling of the situation as the urgency mandates it. What GlobeMed did, this is part of the outcome exercise we've done. For phase 1, and as a quick win for now, this is a case study we did in 2016. The whole project started in 2016, so it's recent. We updated our ER guidelines in a way to speed up the decision for the ER admin, for the ER clerks and staff, and our decision, because this will help us give quicker responses, quicker decisions on approval or rejection or partial approval. We dedicated a dedicated phone and fax number with dedicated team for all ER. Now, if you want to call 01518-001, you have a dedicated person for emergency who answers you at GlobeMed. It's a 24/7 team. We invested in additional resources to get this patient experience, because we know if we get good patient experience, we will get good outcomes, we will get a good image towards our insurance company, who will remain with us and who will say, I'm not only paying GlobeMed to cost contain, but also GlobeMed is providing patient service. It's providing me customer service and satisfaction and loyalty. And if you, I don't know if you can read it, but this dedicated team and this dedicated staff who is handling the ER claims now have a 98.11% of their approval given in less than 15 minutes. So as soon as the admin send us the medical file of this patient, we check it, we check his eligibility of the eligibility of the policy, and we check the medical necessity, and we reply in less than 15 minutes, 98.11%. So you're not waiting because of GlobeMed. You're waiting because it's a process inside the hospital where they have to check you, there's a severity of the case, there's a medical necessity, there are the triage process, so it's a long process. What we are doing also is when the clerk is swiping the card, an instant notification, he has to enter the mobile number of the patient, and an instant notification is sent to us with the mobile number of the patient, his name, his insurance card, and blah, blah, blah. We call the patient, we explain him what's the process of waiting in the ER room, why you have to wait, what's the triage, what they are going to make for you, and that it's going to take minimum a 1 hour stay, because no one gets out of the emergency room less than 1 hour, so he needs, yes, we manage his expectation in order for him to stay cool and calm. And if he's going to stay more than 1 hour, we call him back a second time, and the second day we call him on a cold, it will be a cold call just for satisfaction and to check his complaints and service. We are sending also an instant message. We are testing a second pilot when we send an instant message that we are GlobeMed, we knew you are there. If you need anything, just call us. Now we are testing it to see if patient will react and call us for help. Because in the first pilot, we called them. Now we are going to see if they are going to react and call us. So it's a first phase now. We started implementing in 8 major hospitals in Lebanon, the big ones. We have another 25, because the 8 were the pilot. Now we have another 25 by end of this year, and hopefully we'll be able to cover Lebanon by Q2 2017.
Especially at the ER cases, it's risky to try something new. It's not, people are not happy to accept or to absorb a new concept the government wants to go with, or a new innovation. So that's why we go with testing. Because do you accept to call you? Are you okay to accept a call, or do you accept to receive a message? That's why we're a bit, we're going step by step to know what people, because I would say yes, I like people calling me because I see sympathy with me, I see a relation. Maybe others, they don't accept a call. I don't want anyone to call me because I'm frustrated, I'm shouting. That's why here, we might go with 2 scenarios, 1 scenario. With Branson, we'll check it.
Yes.
I have a question. So you did a pilot project in order to see your response and how fast
It's not only...
your activity with the patient.
It's not our response. We wanted to test this process and to test the provider's responses also, because there's a big part from the provider. If he doesn't swipe the card, we will not know that the patient is there. And believe me and trust me, there are many providers whose clerk didn't swipe the card because they know there's a GlobeMed who's going to call the patient and tell him, you don't have a delay because we know that you're there. And we are going to call the clerk and tell him, send us the medical file. Maybe he's busy with other cases. So it's not your case now. So
The patient there without swiping.
So you got me back to where I was originally asking, because this is more question for me to understand better. So do you all agree, I think people who work in insurance, that we have a lack in insurance culture in this country?
definitely,
Second,
definitely.
what are you doing to create awareness? Do you send newsletters to the people on your database? Do you know that this is your right to
Yes.
swipe your card, let's say?
We are.
Just like a post
This is.
know that it was your right to call your insurance broker. Do you do guerrilla marketing stuff?
This is part of something which is patient experience education we're working on now. There's the ER process. There's a mobile app which is going to the version 2 of our mobile app, which is extremely different than the version 1, with high patient addicted services in the mobile app. We are working with the insurance company because we cannot approach the patient without going through the insurance company, because at the end of the day, it's their customer. Okay, we are working on some patient kits too, for when the patient goes into the hospital, he has a certain kit where his patient rights, his information, where he can call us. Many providers, where you're on discharge, when you're going out of the hospital, tells you have to pay $100, $500, $600. You just pay and go because you just want to leave the hospital. But in fact, you don't have to pay them. They are just overcharging for a Kleenex bottle and for a thermometer and stupid things.
We're in the digital age. Have you thought about creating an app or GlobeMap that has at least the rules of what you're entitled to?
Yes, yes.
Not only is it a lack of insurance culture, it's also a lack of knowledge in what are our basic rights.
Yes,
People don't know
it's embedded.
this is your right to do this,
Yes.
or someone.
This is the version 2 of our app that has what you are covered and what you should do.
You can check your coverage. And if you can, yes, if you can,
But people don't read.
Well, they do when you incentivize them. Let's say your app has to have notifications, and it says, "Did you know?"
We have an experience over 25 years.
In
People,
apps?
no, not in apps, in how people treat their insurance policies. They don't like to read.
Turn it into a game.
We are thinking of something that will the gamifications. We are doing this issue because people I don't want to read pages, 10 pages. I can read something, a line. A line cannot summarize a policy.
But here's the thing, I have an app, sorry, just one more.
Yes.
I have an app that sends me a notification once per day, and it teaches me one thing per day at a specific time. And I just read the notification.
we have in our current version, you can put your pills reminder, you can put your medicine reminder and stuff like this. But wellness tips.
I get the notification here, it's like a sentence and a half. Did you know that your right is not to pay 100% when you exit the hospital? If I'm interested, I will click on it and I will read the small paragraph.
We are, by the way, very active on social media, on LinkedIn and Facebook. If you can check the. No. It's part of the educational part. Yes.
Just a brand that's in the shadows operating.
Sure.
This is a very challenging context.
Yes.
You need to manage all these things that you don't have access to. You need to manage the client who you don't talk to unless they come to the hospital. It's the broker's job to explain actually what's the coverage, what's included, what's not, if there's deductible or whatever. And then you have the hospital staff who you don't have any control over whether they'll notify you or won't notify you. And still you have to manage the customer experience with all of these things out of your hands, right? And then, getting people to download the app. Why would I download an app for it?
Because there will be benefits and incentives. There are benefits.
We give the portfolio to a client, like a QR code, download the app here. We are here to serve you 24/7. Like the people who do my bills for the immediate, they have an app where هو الجديد الابديت اسمه مستشعر هون بلبنان مش انه حدا من برا بيبعثوا لي notification every there's a new law and I check it out. So it's like you're as a customer
Involvement on the part of the patient or the consumer. That's not all of them will be that involved to download it. Sorry.
Actually, I was going to say that you even have more difficult mission because you are probably perceived as an obstacle between the client
Yes.
looks at you
Service,
as,
yes. Yes.
someone with that.
We are the devil's advocate for sure.
As a bad guy. As a bad guy who wants to block my.
You're not there to assist him. You're there to refrain him.
Yes, but education. I just. But if you can if you can sum up a small what we've said, we're working on the educating our patient. Was it through social media? Was it through our ER process? Was it through the patient kit, the patient rights? Now we are we will start introducing patient rights in the coverage. When he signs the coverage, he has signed a different paper where his rights are stated. No, it will be, no, it's a 5 bullet points. No. Look, when I've done the patient's rights, I said, if I have a patient's rights, will I read them or not? If I have a page like that, I will not read them. So I thought about it. I put 5 points, 5 bullet points, straight to the point, lines, 1 line each point, for him to read. And he's accountable because he will sign this paper along the coverage insurance. So we're trying to educate. We're trying with the insurance company too. Now the ministry is doing a great job in the education of its patient. But akid, we have corruption. We have blockers from the broker, because some brokers don't want their patients or their customer to know what they are paying. Yeah, sometimes.
Second version app version, they will download it because it has a lot of benefits. It's not only reading. If you read, for example, if you do something, it will give you something that will add value to your policy.
It will give you benefits.
It will give you benefits like discount on your policy or these people, these are like
When we know our rights, he's talking about corruption. The more we know our rights from you guys, the less there is corruption. So I think it's your responsibility to work on this from full throttle.
Okay, now you know that. Now.
Yes, you can.
because you are under engineer, example. You are not my beneficiary.
But you can have your app with the rules. So simple. It's
This-
an app
this
with
is
rules for
what-
insurance.
It will be only for GlobeMed adherence. It's a privilege.
We cannot do it.
For
I cannot
rules, I
tell.
don't think it should be a privilege because I think you owe it to everyone to know the rules.
Yes, but
And stop corruption.
okay, it's a privilege. It's a privilege then. It's a privilege to be under GlobeMed.
Why is it not? I think I live in Ethiopia. I feel it's easy.
No, actually, if I just want to say, it's a very interesting debate. And you now can see how many challenges you have in this particular business. However, at the same time, the bold move of GlobeMed was to initiate this virtuous cycle of improvement. And the job is still at the beginning. But the role of design is to embrace ambiguity, uncertainty. We might find a lot of obstacles and some of the blockers, like sometimes the brokers could play and so on. And we have to solve things as we go. And what you all said is very true. And this is why we need to constantly keep on this design hat on and try to solve all these people's problems. I mean, it's one thing to say the broker doesn't want, but we need to understand the why he doesn't want it and see how we can solve his problem along the way. The same for the insurance company and so on.
For the hospital.
And for all these stakeholders. So it's a process,